very brilliant words of wisdom. We are now moving on to the question and answer session. And we are going to do it. I know our our nature is also demanding that the stomach has something. Is it true? So now that means, there is nothing that is impossible. So we can have this session, but let's use the little time we have so that we break off for lunch. We can have only one minute for the submission. And I'm thinking we can even quantify these questions. Since we have one, two tests, or you are the representative, I don't know. Okay, so one, two is one tent, this is one tent, this one is the half of a tent. So we shall have three questions here. I'm not undermining here. I'm just looking at the quantification. So three here, we can have three here and two here. In total, that is how many questions. Now, these questions should be clear and brief. They should be smart, specific. The other. Okay. Let's start from here.
Thank you very much, Chair. And the Chair for Student Welfare Justice. My question, is it equity after the 6 months since the Gazette, when the students are not represented on the University Council, on the University Senate, and faculty boards? Then the other last question for submission, I do request humbly that our university library be open at least up to 10 p.m. And in case there is no one who is yet employed for that, we have rooms where students can be rather than being just outside the university at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, so part two. Now one remaining here, but I'll answer one question. Okay, the Prime Minister, I saw your hand up. Okay, I will allow. Okay, the chair has guided that since we have a lot of time with leaders, let us first hear from these people here. My son.
Thank you very much. My name is Nkono Owen and I do Bachelor of Science with Education. I major in Information Communication Technology. There are very many things that are not implemented, but they are implemented up, but down they are not. For example, it is going to the chair of the students' welfare, whereby you go in a shop, you pay for sugar, but you have to kneel down for it to get it. Here we have year one students who paid for t-shirts, gowns, and IDs in 2021. This is 2022. They've never received it. As we have moved from a private university to a public university, we have, and they say you can't behave normally in an abnormal situation, how we have been behaving abnormally, especially in this semester. Syllabuses are knocking, but we have people who have not cleared 80%. And there is this, I call it, where it is a devil, where it is a word called surcharge. So I would request the council also considers that, at least for this semester or for the rest of the life, they remove the surcharge for us. Thank you. I beg to submit.
Please, if you don't walk, I can't.
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, my name is Derek Mugume, and my program is Mass Communication. I'm going to speak on behalf of students of Mass Communication and students of Bachelors of Journalism and Communication. Most of you, you know the difference. I have three things that I'm going to talk about right now. The first is we lack gadgets to do practicals. One of the gadgets are still life cameras, video cameras, recorders, We also lack a production studio for both audio and video. You know, it is very, very hurting to find you at campus, you are doing a course that requires practicals, but you do a lot of theory more than practicals. For instance, in this semester, yes, okay, the next question is related to examinations. We anticipate to do examinations that are practical, especially on practical courses like photojournalism, video editing, or television production, and news writing and reporting. Lastly, we received this challenge from year ones and year twos when they were applying for the course mass communication. There are people at the reception who were convincing them to do other courses apart from mass communication. That thing hurts. To find a person, what is that? Was the university forced to offer this course? I hope these things are going to be worked upon, and I'm optimistic that by the end of this semester, at least 90% of the things will be worked on, especially cameras, practicals are important. Thank you. Okay. Greetings to everyone. I'm Cody Kabanda. Yes. My concern is about one of the course unit, which Mr. Museveni always called an essential. That's what we are. Uh, we have a course unit called GIS, and at the university we lack the library for GIS. Because since the university, since it was started to be taught us at this university. Second is about the premises. This university, the buildings we have, I think also they are in the transition, they are now in government, but the government should provide another facility whereby we found a problem where we are looking for rooms to attend our lectures and we fail to get them when they're all occupied. Please work on it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you everyone. I am called Aligawa Abraham, pursuing Bachelor of Computer Science. I'll be as brief as possible. My submission will be power. My concern is power in this university. Within the area where we are, we always have power breakups. And this tends to limit the teaching and the learning process. We are going technological and lecturers are used to teaching while using the projector, doing illustrations using PowerPoint presentations. Now, my submission would be that let the university come up with emergency means of ensuring that there is power in the university, even when there is any breakup. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm called Bamba Finance. I'm coming from the School of Science, Technology and Innovation. My own concern is on internet. I'm in year three, and I don't know whether other courses that depend on internet, I don't know. But for us, we depend a lot on internet. And on the fee structure, when we came here in 2019, it was 50,000, but they increased it to 55,000, and yet we don't know which type of internet we are having here. You find you have to do a research, but when you go there on internet, you find there is no internet. Yet you have paid that 55,000. So I'm asking myself, what what
So the purposes of managing the number of questions, let this be the last for now.
The first answer to
Okay, sir, thank you. I want to message my name, and my concern is about it. Sportsmen and sportswomen. We don't hear that sportsmen and women in public university
they are most highly recognized and catered for. We don't know how are we catered under this public university of our Mountain of the Moon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. I think most of these questions are not for council members. Most of these questions are administrative. Because, for example, if you paid for your t-shirts in 2021, what's going on? I don't think council has answers for that. But I want specifically pick the ones of the one I think was Derek Mascom, gadgets. I can't promise you that this year those gadgets will be there. That is 2022, we are in October. But it's something that, and we are in the budgeting cycle. And the budget is for 2023, 2024. So that is something that I had some of you, I think the guild was represented in the budget conference there. So those are the things that we wanted to come up so that we can include them in our budget for the other financial year. However, management will see what in the meantime, how we can try to solve that problem, but may not be a complete solution. The good thing it has been raised, then it will be taken under the budgeting cycle framework. That is also true the equipping of the laboratories for Dr. Pio, I think the public health and so forth. I think that one has already been captured in our budget. But also I think management will answer through the Vice Chancellor. I think there is also some provision for this financial year for some equipment. So they will be able to give us a complete answer to that question. The other one is the issue of library. I think again that is for management to look at. Normally when there is an issue, we need to find solutions. And those solutions should be within our means. Now two things which I don't seem to have captured, but maybe the chairperson budget and a member here of council in the budget committee. The issue of power, the issue of internet, the issue of backup. The internet, I'm sure they are talking about the bandwidth. Those issues are very important to council because I didn't say, but I already told staff, we are going E. These papers will soon disappear in the next 2-3 years. And we need to build the capacity. We want also to see whether you can study where you are without coming here. So the issues of internet, the issues of power, because also internet requires backup. When power goes off, at times you have a problem. The ICT people, I'm sure, must have raised that because they did raise it when we were visiting them last time. So these are issues that should be captured in the next budget. These are the issues, if they are in the present budget, they should be quickly be dealt with. I now want to hand over to management. There, I picked about 10 questions, I've answered about 3, so 7 should be able to go to management. And then you can pick the next lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairperson of Council. With humility, I would request that before I commence on addressing the 7 areas with my colleagues, that allow me introduce and unveil a person very important. A lot of the issues we're talking about have to do with resources. And the university in your stewardship as chair has recruited a bursar. And it's important that he comes and we unveil him. You know, we have systems building, and therefore it's going to contextualize our journey. Mr. Bursar, sir, may you please come in front here and we unveil you to the University Council and the student body. This is Mr. Lutengo Ronald Hambuja. You're welcome, sir. You may say something in 1 minute, then I'll go back to my issue.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chancellor, the chair, members of the council, the students, and members of staff. I'm very grateful to have been given the opportunity to join the community of Mount Elizabeth University. And I pray that God gives me the guidance to contribute to the growth of the university. As the Vice Chancellor has mentioned, my docket is key because everything rotates around finances. Thanks very much.
So there you are. Yeah, the chair is asking that you start the dish now. He is just settling, but he has high aspirations. And Mr. Chair, sir, and your members, we are privileged, we are blessed as a university to have this commitment. Some of these issues, most of them will be resolved in the midst that's possible. But let me get back to the question, the 7. I will start with the issue of equity, which the chair touches in the context of policy. When I made my remarks during the welcome session, I talk of a system in transition, where therefore you develop proposals that is commensurate to what is doable. Therefore, in the process of the council that His Excellency raises, you are not having students representative, is because there has to be policy formulation to support that. And I gave an example of how do you get the students represented. And you will then take away the issue of I'm not there, the dean is just bringing his cabinet among others. This is work in progress, the policies have been drafted, and in no too distant time, we will have members of the student body represented in council, in senate, and also the faculty board. I commit that, Mr. Chair. The second issue raised, so that's the equity which is going to come. 6 months is too short a time. Let me give you an example because I still, up to now, I haven't left the office, oversee all these universities. If you take the interest and do that, perhaps you'll find that in some of the new universities, I won't mention, there's still no representative. We don't want to follow that line. We wish that in the shortest possible time, we have your views represented in all these organs. The second issue you raised was about the library, in which I preempted. Because as we monitor universities, we know universities that open libraries past 9, 10 p.m. And then I imagine it takes me, and I drive 8 kilometers back to Kavondeli. How is the student, how will you walk if you, unless you're driving? So we have to have a policy that protects, that facilitates, and that is accountable. See, the student leaving town to come here must be brought here and delivered back safely. And once we address the issue, Mr. Bursar, of acquiring the bus, which is budgeted for, and the process of procurement has started, then we're at peace of ensuring that at peak times, students or off time, I think that is, are picked from wherever they are and delivered at another good place to stay here at that time. Of course, the issue of who facilitates this is manageable. It's not as most complex as the issue of transport. That's number 2. Number 3, there was the issue of t-shirts. And I talked to the university secretaries, I talked to the academic registrar. When you are in charge of something, you don't mind about what happened in the past. You take stock of that. These t-shirts, we're in agreement in management that the issue with t-shirts and gown will be dealt with. But when the new boss has settled in weeks, we then kind of reorganize when this is done. But we will communicate as management so you know the timeline in terms of how we address this. That's number three. I will invite Professor Kasarine to talk about the issue of people in the registry, academic registrar's office, forcing you to go and do a different course. I don't know why that would happen. I would imagine this is not about somebody offering guidance. And we are here to counsel, to give counsel when we have the expertise. So he will talk about that. In the issue of bandwidth, struggling, and power shortages. Mr. Chair, allow me to invite the authority here. Majid, Majid, where is it? Please come up. Come up here. Because we want to be practical so that what we're talking is not hot air. You know, we have solutions, we listen, and we want to address these issues. Sir, could you kindly explain the status quo, the situation analysis of our ICT system, talk from the integrated data management system that the university has procured a lot of money, the problems you're having, and what Reno is doing, and the solutions that you're providing. Thank you, sir. In 2 minutes.
Thank you, Professor. Let me go straight to the issue of internet. Right now, we are subscribing to bandwidth of 75 megabits per second. I would say there is no better way of explaining ICC things without using ICC terminology. So I would give a related example of what bandwidth is. So bandwidth, you can consider it as a road. So the way that the road, the better experience of the internet. So now our road is 75 Mbps rate. So we tried to control the traffic that goes through that road by dividing it into what I can call lanes. We have a lane for the servers, so we say the servers, your traffic will be in this lane. And then we also have another lane for staff members. We give them also a bandwidth for around 15 Mbps. But yeah, I must say the biggest chunk of the bandwidth now is going to the students who get 40 Mbps. But as you know, the road is not that big, so there is what we call in our language, big is under level, like everyone is struggling to use that 40 Mbps. But as a university, we are not seated. In our first quarter, we had planned to upgrade from 75 Mbps to 130 Mbps. But as you know, we had been struggling as a 2020. We used this bandwidth during that time of COVID, but we had not paid anything. So we decided for the first quarter, let us first clear the outstanding balance that we had. So, but I assure you, in this second quarter, that is from October to November, December, by the end of this year, we shall have increased that bandwidth to 130 Mbps. So I assure you, you shall get a better experience of internet. Then the other issue about the internet itself is the technology that we're using. We have old equipment. Remember, this equipment was installed in 2015. So in terms of technology, something that goes beyond 7 years is considered as old. A case in point is all the new devices that are being manufactured now. They raise a frequency of 5 gigahertz, but our access points are now broadcasting a frequency of 2.5 gigahertz. So they always prioritize the 5 gigahertz. So also as a university, we are not seated when it comes to that. We intend to replace that old equipment. Yeah, we have the procurement process has started already, so we intend to replace those old equipment. And also we also plan to mount some access points in the compound, the outdoor outputs, so that even if you're seated somewhere in the compound, you can be able to access the internet. Then another technology of the fiber optic cable. Of course, we connect to the internet using a fiber optic cable, as you see over there. So, yeah, the fiber optic cable, it runs from our server room to Kampala, where our service provider has the point of presence. So, of course, with natural disasters like landslides, lightning, and the construction works that are ongoing along the road, this cable breaks them and again. But thanks to NITA Uganda, also a government institution, there is always a team which is allocated to that exercise. So they are always a few hours or minutes away from repairing that fiber optic cable. Then, as other people pointed out, the issue of power. power is a big problem. So without power, there is no internet. Yeah, and then as Professor asked me to talk about, there's something new.
Power, what are you doing about power?
I think with power, as the ICT directorate, we have a backup. Yes, backup. Yeah, we have a backup system for power because as we realize when power goes off, people can move to block C. We still have some connection, so we have a backup system that gives us an uptime of 5 hours. So when the generator and the grid is off, and then we also, of course, we have a backup generator, but it only works during the, I will say, okay, sir. Yeah, and also about the IDMS. So that is a system that the university has been developing. So this system was developed to automate all university activities. So it has 5 modules: the education resource management module that works with all that has to do with academics. Then you have the HR module, the finance module, admin module, and of course the procurement module. So also as students, you'll be having a portal where you'll be able to register online, register for retakes, access your yeah. You know that is also a big problem. You don't have to line up to the academic editor's office to do something simple like that. So you'll be able to also access your personal results, but you won't be able to print. You'll be able to view. You don't have to go to the notice board to see what you have scored in the previous semester. So of course, some staff members have already been trained on this system, but as students, soon you'll be called upon to be trained on this particular system. So I urge you to honor our invitation when we ask you to come and be trained on this particular system. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Najib. I hope that provides the website that, as Chair says, is here for practical, authentic way of doing things. And if it didn't happen because it wasn't planned for, we have a system, the new VASA, to get stepped out, that we have to provide, make provision for this, but it's a planning process. What this financial year is really running. So every improvement starts from the next year, where the budget full cycle is dealt with. The intention is good, bear with us, raise those issues, and we should be able to address them. Fundamentally, I wanted to just say something brief about sportsmen and women. Their value, talents, that's what the chair says. And that's the conversation that this university that I am leading right now is geared towards. But let me not make promises that there will be light when I know it's darkness. Let's streamline what we can avail, what we can have. Let's discuss with those who fund systems. And when we have the answers, we will get you informed. For me, that's the pragmatic way of doing things, but not to come here and campaign. The advantage is that the VC's office, you don't campaign. So I will be telling you what it is, and I want to be as honest as possible. We need sportsmen and sportswomen, and Mr. Chair and members of council, this question is contextualized in students being given sponsorship, scholarship for their talents. And therefore, you need the money to cushion them here. This is not a private university. Mr. Segabonge here, Commissioner, will tell you if you make that statement, heavy roll because you have to find the money yourself. But let's first see, is it possible? Take this prayer to the higher authorities, learn from what other universities are doing, and then we bring it back to council and explore how that is done. You will be kept informed. Lastly, let me invite Professor Kasarine to talk about the visionary views of move away from journalism to something else. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, for your explanations to these challenging questions. Mine, I would say it's a simple one. Talking about, actually it's wrong to say forced. We don't use that word at Mountains of the Moon University. It's not in our vocabulary to say someone has been forced to change a program from one to the other. No, there is some discussion if indeed there is need to change. And by the way, to change programs at the university is normal, isn't it? And sometimes the students who request it, all right?
But for management to say change from here to there to another one, there is a reason behind it. And that's what should be interrogated. Why was there need to say or be advised to change my program? It should be in a good fight, not just for the sake of it. People you are talking with, either staff in academics or our staff in management, they know these things very well. They can interpret things and actually they don't want to dump you. They want to help you. Choose something good and you proceed in life. So, course programs, I will start by course programs in journalism or mass communication are specialist courses. Not so. They are not like the common things you hear around. That's level one. Level two, since my time here, these specialist courses in journalism, mass communication have never attracted beyond 15 new students attend calling. Yes or no? I think those who attend the programs can say yes or no. But to me, the word is no because I know them, right? And therefore, to me, what does it cost to train a student at Mountains of the Moon University until completion? That's the question, isn't it? What does it cost? So this is a university which has been depending on monies we get either from grants, from student fees, or from donations to run the university. So it's not a charitable institution where you can have two people coming for a course program that they say they can be taught at Mountains of the Moon University. The requirement for each course is 15 students to be admitted into that program. Okay? And if you are two, you want to pursue nothing but journalism or mass communication. Now, where shall I get money to pay the teachers? Because each of those will require like 8 teachers per semester to carry you through, right? Which means 16 per year. And you know how much each teacher also costs me to do the work of university teaching, learning, research, supervision, and examinations, and the rest of it. Therefore, if we are not charity institution organization, we say, younger man, you want to continue, younger lady, you want to continue, could you change from this one to this one so that you continue your university education? That is the reason. They don't simply say, change from here to that for nothing. No, there is a good reason behind it. So please, those who think we have forced, if indeed there was some tried to force, and it was not reported to me then at that time as vice chancellor. So I don't know who is telling the truth. We have how to deal with people, you know. We with students, very delicate people. The chairman himself said the university is because the students are. So no, we don't make these things like that. We respect you. We try to help as much as possible to build you into a gentleman and a gentlelady who should go out with head high to count on MME education. And we give the best, I think. Right? And we want to continue to give the best education. And we shall give it all the students who come for different programs, but in numbers that are sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Kasarene, for the analysis of the unit cost, what it costs us to run a program. I omitted one specific question to do with space, facilities, infrastructure. And when I made the welcome remarks, I contextualized that with the bigger challenge that this university has by you yourselves as staff not getting where to sit as the officers, where students not being able to find where to sit to attend lectures. What has happened so far is that the university
Public University has progressed in the context of developing a master plan. The intention of the master plan is that you will enable the university policy precisely where respective units will be for the future. That has been approved by the ministry, by local authority here, which is a requirement, and council has sanctioned it off so that now it's going to be concluded. The second thing that I'd like to report that is connected to that is that the university, of course, with approval of council, has designed the architectural design works and BOQ to start the faculty of science, faculty of agriculture, and environmental sciences right there when you move the so where we had the Resort Expo. For some of you who might have been around that time, and work starts immediately. Once we've gotten the bids, we've gotten the constructor. The building will be supervised by Ministry of Works and officials from Ministry of Education, Engineering branch, among other places. They've been coming around. They've done all the preliminaries, topographical surveys, geotechs, and so on and so forth. And we are only awaiting for the process, which is a requirement that starts. That could take about 2 years, might not meet your interest now. And the chair with his team membership, they pushed us now that in the interim find solutions for temporary measures. And with the Basa E, we need to begin to discuss that. But for yourself now, you can't wait for 2 years. And answers will be found from second quarter. We commit to doing that. Thank you very much.
I think the questions have been.
Let me take on the subject. It's a pretty too low. Yeah, okay. Such to be what is it to be abolished? To be
Condemned.
okay. Such today I won't use the word abolish, to be deferred until we study the merits and demerits of such charge, then we abolish. You don't super abolish. What if you abolish and then find it's very useful in the management of the university? What do you do?
Bring your friends.
What do you call that fact? Let's first analyze the situation and then we find the elastic solution to this thing called such charge. First, foremost, I want to remind you, students, be honest also. When you pay all your fees in record time, what does the bursar do? The bursar actually gives you some concession, not so. I want to hear something, yes or no? Oh my God. I know where you are telling me. All I know, in our regulations, students who pay on time, they are given possession of a certain amount of money. Then you have never done it. Yes, very simple. The interpretation is that you've never done it. You've never done it. And remember also that at this university, we don't pay fees, all of it 100%. We pay fees, is it in quarters? 40, then 20. Not so. That alone is trying to reduce the pressure, either on the parent or the student, or making it possible for this money to be paid on time. Not so. And if in the year you have paid your 40, 20, all time, certain monies either are transferred to your next fees or given to you. That is the policy. That is the policy, and if you have not done it, then you don't get it.
And if you don't think for yeah about it.
That's number one. Number two of such as, listen carefully. I have seen students rush to pay the first quarter, even second quarter, sometimes first, second, and third quarter, when the exam is about. to happen. You have seen those payroll rings of people pushing each other. There's no order, there's no nothing. They are pushing to pay, or even rushing to pay in the banks, but bring mistakes. And my accountants here get problems during that time. So we said, what if all these people who want to pay late, we charge them something, so that what we are charging becomes an incentive for them never to pay late. So actually, all those who have paid in good time but never charged, not so. Is it also no? Those who pay but never very late are never subjected to such charge. Thank you very much. The answer is yes. Then why don't you pay and avoid such charge?
Hanif. Wow.
That is the meaning of subject. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I say, I'm not going to abolish it. I'm going to study it with
Anything
my
that I
team,
can
top
sing in a
university
song.
management, and discuss it with the council
Yeah,
because it
you know,
was a
it's
policy
yellow.
matter. You can't simply rub off a policy matter like this. You will have to be introduced to those who put it on to rethink either leaving it for the sake of, what you are telling us, or but if it has merits of what it's doing in the university system to do certain things, it may stay there, maybe lowered instead of being at the level it is. That's all. But it's very important. Thank you very much.
Okay, I now come into this tent, but not carefully the words, the guidance. I will start with the Prime Minister, then I will continue to the Speaker. I will balance the equation, Minister Finance, then Speaker.
Thank you so much for giving me this privilege. With interest and time, the protocol remains observed. I'm going to hint on some few things. Last month, since we are working in government quarter, whereby there is delay in releasing the money. So what are you going to do for our students? That's the money that students pay directly from their own pocket. So we really request you, if there is any need, please provide us something such that activities of the students can be run. Secondly, our management, when we look around, we don't have any purified around with the students. Not all of us can manage like to afford water or people.
Okay, more the last three. 1, 2, 3. But I will put a ready. 1, 2, then 3. The ready.
Thank you very much. Dear leaders who are here, I'm privileged to be to address this challenge. I'm Prinamas Aaron Jonathan. The concern is about our colleagues, students who are on loan scheme. They got a challenge. They pay the money, but when they got a loan scheme, that money was failed to be refunded. So if they need clarity, is that money going to be refunded? And remember, the government paid back that they had paid. Thank you. Thank you, the University Council and the administration. Mr. Brian, the spokesman. I will insist on the issue of sports, however much the Vice Chancellor has jumped from one or the other. So I need to be clarified on the issue of sports versus academics. We have sportsmen here doing different sports activities. An athlete, for example, we do train in Chegode Kabula grounds. At the university, we don't have a playground. And I am so touched by my fellow sportsmen of football. They do train from the graduation arena. So Most of the times when we go for training in Kabula, we do come when the time of lecture approaches. We are called by the time of lecture, and the lecturer is insisting that whoever has vote on this, I must pin you. Or at times you are given a check just because you missed a class because you are training, and yet we are promoting the university. Finally, I would like to be clarified on the marketing department of the university. I was engaging the marketing manager of the university about how sports can promote the MMU. He told me clearly that MMU marketing staff doesn't have any fund for the sports concerning these activities. So may I request, as we still have other activities going through, take an example, MTN Kampala Marathon, it is coming, it is on the way, and we promote the university. Me, I myself, I went to Kasese carrying the university flag with my own cost. But I was privileged. Someone could come and say, which university? MMU. I was like, which university? MMU, from where? I said, what? And someone said, oh, okay, you have identified me. So, thank you very much. And thank you, sir. I know you are going to do it, and not the university going to do this, but I know you are much younger. You need to be right in the field academics, and thank you very much.
Okay, the lady then we shall end.
Thank you very much. My name is Mary Pena from the Faculty of Education. So my question goes, is tuition refundable or it's not? Because when I tried to reach finance, they told me they discuss it with the high university body. So since you're the right people, I request you answer me. Is it refundable? Or if it is not refundable, why is it that it can't be transferred from one account to another person's account? Thank you.
Sente nazia mwikono.
Now let us answer this. The weather is changing and the time is also gone.
Thank you very much, members, for the questions. Initially, I had stayed the question from the guild, but I think now they have had a chance to present their issues. If there are more, I think you'll be able to interact at the committee level of council and be able to resolve some of those issues. I want to implore you that after this interaction, you go back with your executive and try to put sort of a memorandum so that your issues can be recorded and dealt with accordingly either now or in the future. Two is that we are in the budgeting cycle, but that one is also soon closing. Because by 31st of this month, today is 13th, that means in 2 weeks' time, we should have concluded with the budget. Those of you who were in the budget conference must have had some of these stringent deadlines. So I want to ask through the management and the BASA who is here to ensure that some of these issues are captured within the budget for the next financial year. I want also to require management that if there is anything within this financial year, then they can inform the students about that. Now again, most of these questions that were asked, freshers bash. How many freshers are you? There are no freshers, so what is the patch for? There should not be a patch, there are only 3. So there are few, but I think that is internal. We need to discuss much as there is my friend here from finance. You know, finance tells us any money collected must go and then come back. But that is a principle that we need to further discuss. For example, if I have paid money to the guild, should I send that to the consolidated fund? Or should it be going directly to the guild account, if at all they have an account? Those are some of the internal things that we need to harmonize. But we don't have these problems. Where I used to work, people used to pay for a service. But then the money goes to finance. And then you tell them that, you know, finance hasn't released the money. But the client will say, but I gave you my money. Why are you telling me about finance? So we have those conflicts. Indeed, I'm sure that those conflicts are going to come here, and we need to resolve them earlier than later. The issue of sports, I think the Vice Chancellor is being humble, and as you can see, he's a very humble person. We are only 3 months. We have just finished 3 months as a public university. So we are at the foundation. We haven't even put a pre-compete. We have just done the trenches to put our foundation. But we also need to engage with stakeholders to see what sort of bricks we put in the foundation. So, and then because of the government process, you find that there is a lag. Because if you miss now putting anything in the budget, unless if it is an emergency, you will not get it financed or approved. So we need to be mindful of the timelines of the public university. So I want us to give you some hope that we may not do everything, but we are going to do something that will make a difference from you being in a public university. On the sports particularly, the master plan has got a whole complex. I'm yet to be shown where that is going to be, but I understand somewhere. Sports is key to the youth. It is very key. It is part of the extracurricular activities. You cannot be in books all the time. You need also to ensure that your physical is catered for. So it is in the master plan. It is now the issue of prioritizing within the budget when that will come. But it's there, and I'm sure the sports people will be here when that is done. Will be very happy with what is being planned for this university. So let me give the chance to now management to answer the rest of the issue. Professor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chairperson, and thank you to students for the issues. Chair, allow me just consolidate your stand on things that management will be able to do with your support in the context of ensuring that they're provided for in the budgeting process. And this touches the issue of pressure bash. Because it's now a government system, as you have explained, if money is paid, it goes to consolidated funds. But the conversation should now start with the US BASA and the Commission on Finance to support what is it that can remain here and what is it that can go to consolidated funds. But it's not automatic because the PSST must write to sanction that this is what happened. And I think that can be explored. And as the chair, let's have hope that the intention is good for us doing this. Issues of purified water is important, but I'm aware that being containers, distribution, but it is of the essence. Water is life by all means. And so we take that very seriously in moving forward as we plan. And so is the issue of wooden canteen. This falls under the ambit of infrastructure. We are only 3 months, as the chair says, into the mainstream of things, and you cannot do everything because you're government. There are priorities. I know the provision of who offers meals in the canteen is being considered. And so my take is this, that much as the student body must be supported in running their affairs, there is also the issue of security safeguards and safety of what was there. But one student getting food poisoning, not intentional, because of the quality of food being offered, we are constantly addressing that. So we must be qualified. Who has the ability to offer these to the standard acceptable for food providers? It takes time for us to get there, but it will be attended to. Special purpose. University has regulations for academic affairs. You cannot only wake up and determine that because somebody was given birth as an unexpected mother or was sick, you change to a special purpose. Remember, every curriculum program you're running is approved by National Council. And when they approve, you will have told them if a student fails, they take a visit. So it has to be evaluated, discussed, and if you wish to do take that line, you go to the body, the regular body. Secondly, this university runs a semester system. If you want a special paper, then you must complete a term system because you cannot progress unless something is completed. And so that's the conversation that much as it's an idea being provided by yourself, we need to look at the pros and cons of the workability of that and take it forward. Then transport for the use of gear. I missed that I was consulting, but I got informed. The students are asking that the bus which is being procured should be run by Gill and the student. Was that a question? Was that a proposal? A very wonderful idea. But you know, this university is government. Government has policies of everything, including this water we are taking. Someone has to account for all these bottles in use, and so on and so forth. And even here it must have been planned. So Ministry of Works, Transport and Public Service, they have policies of how we use government vehicles. All these other vehicles are in whose category they are under estate. So they have to schedule who uses it at what time. And Auditor General, Office of Auditor General will come and cross-check. Are you adhering to policies? So unfortunately on that, unless government changes policy, or if our chair goes to ask for a special policy for this university, I don't know whether we'll get that. It's not going to happen. So let's be realistic on what works and what will not work. Without problem. The conduct of staff in finance, I get a bit nervous and maybe to a large degree kind of upset. But you know, there's one thing to allege, there's another thing also to confirm that that happened. And it's normal to make allegations. Can I therefore request that these issues that you're raising about staff in finance be brought to ourselves, me or Professor Castanelli's office or the AR? It can be anonymous and we will investigate. But we cannot take action when we don't know the issues you're raising. You are not given pointers. But take it from us that when we get this insight, we will explore to logical conclusions. Professor Castanelli will come and add something on that. Once I ask him to talk about, he has 2-3 issues to talk about. Then the issue of construction of the previous, I think I missed that a bit. No, the first one was Odell. They offered the gentleman who passed the board of bank, and I like that when somebody offers a bill to you, you say thank you. They're paid also. And the postgraduate student says, we are just asking more, we are not saying thank you to the provider. I feel good when I sense that kind of reassurance and appreciation. Mr. Majid came here because he has been in the mainstream with his team, of course, supporting the development of the integrated data management system. And this is where we will progress the audit system as infrastructure. Once we've completed that, which is nearly 95% done, we then do the training. The other bit now is the conversation that every university is having. that if you tell a student to come with uniform to school or a pen, is it now not the case that we begin to talk about laptop, smartphone, if we are fully running in ITMS? But then the conversation should go beyond that. We know ATSA is doing something with Jambo University, but the university will not provide in wholesome context. We have to find what works, who is meeting the goals. The best thing is to see how best can you reduce to make it affordable. And I thought we can explore that line, sir. Religious leaders, I know the university has a policy on the operations of the faith-based institutions. I'm not going to name them, they are in the master plan. So therefore, if I'm hearing that some money were not given to some specific entities, I'll now wait time to inquire. And then the gentleman who raised it was Mr. Well, raise your hand. We will give a direct response because maybe not speculate whether part of all the money was given. And if it was given, how many and what was the source, what was the criteria, you will get a response. And all the other five denominations, I can see through Christy right here to be in the know of what is being stated. The issue of no discussion, especially on the okay, the loan scheme, Professor Castellano will talk about the loan scheme. The issue of sports venue, my chair here has been very up to date. The complex is part of the master plan, and even this financial year, the funding to start work. So second quarter, some work of leveling ground, planning starts. So it's not a question of what if, but when it starts. The final one that I will then give the microphone to Professor Castellano is the issue of marketing. Marketing is, I don't know if you are the marketing, but there are people who run the university. The marketing gave you their views. You have to deal with students and Mr. Katende. Is this your positioning that you went and said there's no budget? I'm not saying you answer. What I'm saying is that if marketing told you you need to corroborate these budgets, when you talk to the student, you move higher to AR, we have a consolidated position. Because you must check the finance, is behind there. Is there money for this? Is there money for this? What can marketing do? So let's avoid the notion of speculation. ESA, get facts and this is what is open. If you need something, you get it with time. Then university games in December, yes, day of students, it's December and he says, by then, I want to be there in Chicago, I used to be a sportsman in my days. I still try to do something. So this is something that the university supports. But we need to look at the policy, the criteria of how this is done. So it's not a promissory note that because we want to do it, must be done. Thank you very much, students. I will now hand over to Professor Kasemi.
Thank you, Chair, and I will be brief. Since you have touched most of these things you require in my very soon. I'll go back to the students' complaints about mistreatment by my staff in finance department. Indeed. First of all, whoever reported this was not very specific. These days, I want you students, whether you are first year, second year, third year, to be bold because you are ready to be here and be served in the best way possible. Not so, right? And in our system of policies, we have a whistleblowers policy, right? So when you are reporting to me, and for me not to suspect you are telling me lies, tell me everything, okay? And you will be protected. You will be protected. I've told you everything. Then management will do its part. Sometimes when you start reporting things but they can't corroborate, then we feel like our hands are tied. We can't act, right? So tell me everything. We have a whistleblower policy to protect you, but to expose that other bad element in the system. All right? Tell it. So use it. Why do we make that policy? So that we clean out these bad guys, bad elements from I want to comment also on the request by one gentleman who gave us a big thanks as staff of the university, teaching staff, that we should lobby for gadgets, tablets, computers, whatever, to be used especially for online teaching, learning, etc., etc. That's a very nice request, indeed. But it's a heavy request. I'm saying that because right now I can't have money call my own, or we in management we can call our own and start doing things like that. Yes, we can love it. We can go out there visit people who sell these things at the bank, like you know, or we fundraise. We call it part of the fundraising. But how much can we be given? Because the numbers are big. Each one of you wants this gadget to use, and that's what is happening here. And by the way, I was in a meeting last month. They told me for every university, at least public universities, open distance and e-learning is a must. Okay? So if you don't have these, they call them master phones, whatever. Smartphones. You need your own phone. This is the starting point. But it's also limited. If you can afford, buy yourself the tablet, buy yourself the computer. But what you have requested is not perfect. You can do it. And actually, we are already doing it. Maybe where is my registrar, academic registrar? It's right there. There are 50 companies in Kampala which sell things, and the request is not give us free. It is reduce the price to a level where a student can afford, right? So that they bring these gadgets here, we seem like we are now the traders. We are selling at a low cost to students only. So if we can form some understanding with the people out there who are supplying these things, why not? We bring them, reduce price, and students can access. To me, that's the best way. In any case, I know very well here in Uganda, if things are given free, they are called useless. Yes, that they don't work. They are useless, they are what? They are given by MMU University. But if you suffer some little cost, then you take it as your property and you protect it, right? For longer use. I think that's what we are planning. It's already in the plan. I don't know how far we can go, but it's in the process. Thank you very much on that one. Student loan scheme. They are refined. Yes, those who have, I think, reported this one have told me already. I know it. They have come to my office several times, and they have promised to pay. Actually, I'm getting late to pay them. My backup was the arrears, making some savings in the arrears with the former accountant who is Ali is not here. Is Ali there? Ali Junior? Not there. He kept promising me that, make that with me. As soon as these arrears are paid, we had money we used to set up something for these service providers and for photos. Then I'll use that one to pay off these people because their monies were paid by government. So it has not happened. When you say you still need it, it means it has not happened. So, but we owe you your money and you will get it as long as we are still alive and know what we owe our students, you will get it. But then also is that, so is it yours or your parents' money? That's what I promised we have to discuss. And get them from about to give it back. We shall bring whoever contributed to this money. And when you have, yes. And when you have made that, give it to him or her, you will get it. That one is also there. So come slow on that issue.
Akasasara mu Businge nabyo mpaka ya si 7th.
As management, try to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the last one will be omitted in the rest of the Guild Constitution. As I explained, Council here says it's in progress. All the constitutions, the policies that should run this university is under review. It's not going to be a copycat. This is mounted in the university with the need, with the focus, with the vision, how the Guild behave here must resonate with the expectation of this university. And that will happen at the earliest because without that constitution, and that's perhaps the issue that you're having the challenge of coming to be represented. I stated it in my remarks. I was asked, and still I'm coming back that we are blessed to be having a lawyer, not that it's going to be a courtroom, but to tell us what works in the context of not raising issues. And that will be done. Thank you.
Let's give a hand clap to those responses. That is very important, as we mentioned. Sorry for, in the interest of time, there are two hands that I see represent the Prime Minister, I don't know. But you see, in the interest of time, we can be here for the rest of the day asking questions. But, okay. I have been guided to give you one minute, and 1 minute to me, you see, I'm an man. 1 minute is 1 minute, and I'm counting.
Thank you. Skip to the issue of university clinic, and then lastly, we do the questions build. We shall have funds to put a temporary structure for students to work and put in their best schools because they are being structured by right. Thank you.
1 minute.
Thank you, Guild President, for that promise. Put up the structure where students can park their bicycles to avoid the rainy road. Yeah, that's very good. That's the spirit, I must say. Our chairman, when you bombarded him with so many questions, he said, some of these are not University Council type questions, deserving response. So he threw them to us. The level, eh? We answered them. And by the way, a university is not only we seated on this side as managers or and now authority. No, all of us can contribute to the solution of a challenge that has come. Why don't we have that shape for the bicycle? Because we don't, it's not priority. We didn't make it priority. Now, there are other priorities where there is shortage of resources, right? But if you fail, it could be put up, even using your effort, not money. When we talk resources, usually we switch to money. If it can be put up through discussion and understanding and agreeing to serve that purpose, I thank you for that proposal. Thank you. Actually, I can come in now as an individual, not deputy vice chancellor, also to contribute to the building of that structure. But when you come in now, deputy vice chancellor, this one, that becomes official. I can't come in because they know certain things are not coming somewhere and they can't afford. You see? So there are many ways of killing a rat. But this one is partnership. Students, administration, and the staff, we can do certain things on our own, helping ourselves realize certain things. That's very good. That was the shed. Now the other one is what? The clinic. The clinic is big stuff. What we have had as a let's go something. Remember,
It's a drug show.
there has been some movements rationalizing use of space in the university. Actually, at the end of the day, it became in charge of rationalizing space in the university. I looked for space. I put a clinic, I failed. No, I have to say it to you. I failed to get space where I can put my two nurses and where students can come to report their, problems. Some of them are private problems. It's only the nurse who should know or see. I failed to get one. So I said, nurse, stay put in that little one until such a time. And now we have hope to have a proper university clinic, not even a clinic. I want to call it a sick bay or something. So I'm beginning to sleep big because I have a big uncle somewhere who is helping me decide certain things, right? So we can't run and do things at the same time. Professor has mentioned in terms of big infrastructure, what is in our mind now, and we are all thinking and discussing faculty of agriculture and environmental sciences. Not any other. I know next online, it may be the Mountains of the Moon University Library. And maybe before even library, there is, you mentioned the soccer complex, the field, sports field. That is high on the priority list of what should be put in place quickly that people do it. But the clinic is a specialized also kind of block or house where certain things must be done right. Not just the shell, plus of course the equipment in there that are used to examine, check things up. So that one we are going slow, but also we have it in mind. We don't have enough. Fortunately, for minor diseases, our nurse is capable. Our nurses are capable. Plus our room and stock of medicines we have. And when things get complicated, very quickly, now we are going to have transport. Vice Chancellor said, we shall have transport. We can rush these sick people quickly to the hospitals where we have memoranda of understanding and problems are solved. So all I would request therefore, a little bit patience, soon you will see certain things start coming up. That's when you believe that something is happening, right? But this we have to do it together also. Discussion, getting, all that, and then you know what's happening. I know your priorities, I know mine, we balance them out, and we get the equation of what next. Thank you.
Thank you. We have come to the end of this session today, and allow me to remind you it is already coming to 2:30. I'm inviting our beloved chaplain for the Catholic community, Reverend Father Edward Mumuza, to lead us in the closing prayer. Reverend, you're welcome.
You are welcome.
I'm inviting you to stand. You have been seated for long. And stretch a bit. It's not part of the prayer, but emphasizing because we need it. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you and praise you for the gift of life. We thank you for the gift of this university and for this golden opportunity of meeting with the council the staff, management, and the students' body. We thank you for all the deliberations we have had, and Lord, we pray that you may pave a way where there is no way. We know on our own we cannot manage, but with your help, all things are possible. Bless all our efforts, our dreams, and visions for this university, and may it grow from strength to strength. And as we return to our different assignments, Lord, lead us and grant us journey mercies. We make our prayer through the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you.
So before you move, we are going to have some group photos. We are going to have these photos somewhere there at the building. We are going to be led by our photo technologist, Mr. Franklin. So we are going to take these categories of photos: staff, council, then staff, student representative. And
What did it go with?
so please, those categories need to be Thank you so much. God bless you.
Ada kutere. Wah. Masa kutere ruang kah? Kon. This one. Safe and quick. When the sun distracts somehow somewhere. Kamalir. No jif. Kama zamani hana mjasa wang. Capturing this kind of Malira phone. Ban me camera me so just kimaze nakishaduringe and what are you sorting